Hi, how are you? Nice to see you today. I've been gone for a little while, just very busy, and my daughter got married a few days ago. So that's done, and I'm home. I am not on the East Coast anymore, so I'm happy to be home. Happy all that stress for her is over and done. Everything was beautiful, and I'm still sad that she lives 3,200 miles away. Anyway, welcome to the channel. If you are new, thank you for clicking on this video. My name is Audrey. I report on crime cases here. You need to know. You need what I'm about to tell you. You need to know this. I have to disclose this because this is what separates my channel from most other crime investigation channels, and that is I'm a psychic. I am a psychic medium. And that's why one reason I started this channel is because it's like, no, X, Y, and Z is not true. That's not true at all. Here's what happened because the victims themselves showed me this stuff. I know it's a lot. It's a lot to take in. It's interesting. We have a lot of people who just want to constantly remind me that it's innocent till proven guilty, which I understand. I understand that, and they're right. That is our law here in the United States. So this Kohberger show, as I like to call it, I'm not happy that it's become the Kohberger show because that kind of misdirects us from the whole point, and that is 4 students have been lost. 4 individuals' lives are gone. Because why? Some people say he did it. Some people say he didn't do it. Some people say he had help. There's so much unknown in this case. You guys know my feelings, my information from spirit. There are videos of me channeling the victims on my channel, so you can go find those. They're there. Here comes spirit. I swear to God, this only happens when I'm recording or I'm going to talk to someone, like do a reading. I get it in the throat every single time. I start to lose my voice. I get this thing in my throat right here. It's like a clenching. My throat tightens up, which is why I got water, I got coffee, I got everything I need over here. Sorry. My opinion, my view, I'm allowed to have an opinion, and I'm allowed to have a view, and I'm allowed to share it. You can disagree with me. That's fine. My opinion is he did do it based on what I have seen from the other side. I show he did it alone. I see that there was a syringe at his feet at the top floor. Standing in the hallway, there was a syringe. No one's talked about a syringe to my knowledge. After I mentioned the syringe months and months and months ago, someone said he's an ex-drug user. Okay, well, I didn't get the feeling he was using drugs. I've been worried this whole time that he potentially drugged the students. Maybe a hot shot where it's a couple, 2, 3 different drugs in one needle, and it doesn't take long to take the life away. But I don't have confirmation on that, okay? I don't have confirmation on what that syringe means. If I don't know, I'm going to tell you, I don't know. So we have him transferred to a new county for the trial, even though the trial's not till summer of 2025. It'll be here before we know it. There's still a lot of work to be done on both sides, I'm sure, the defense and the prosecution. And when Kohberger changed counties, moved into his new facility, he had a new picture taken. And apparently this set off bells and whistles for a lot of people, mostly women, who just find him extremely attractive and insist that he's innocent. He's been set up. But I thought we're not supposed to go by looks, right? We're supposed to go by a law. So for those people who believe he's innocent, I am curious, and I'm not trying to be a smart aleck. I just don't understand. Based on what evidence are you saying he's innocent? Because there is physical evidence. Yes, it's a little bit that we know of. I think we're going to find out it's more than just the DNA on the knife sheath. I believe there is more. So we have some people who are just very in love, dare I say, with Kohberger. I think it's disgusting. I think this is a good example of dark energy showing itself to individuals and groups of people who are easily convinced and are able to be lied to, and the people are believing what they're seeing from the individual. What does that mean? What does that happen? How does that happen? What are you talking about? Dark energy is very, very strong. It's very, very solid. It's dense. I know that. Okay, here comes spirit. It's hard to explain. When I feel dark energy, somebody's coming in. It's very dense, almost like a black hole. That's what it feels like to me. That energy can penetrate from Bryan Kohberger, his energy, his soul, and he can broadcast that out. And he does broadcast that out every time he's on TV. You know, we see him in court. Anytime we can see his face or even read about him. So there's plenty of opportunity for his dark energy to affect other people. And you know, this is a thing, why a lot of people get involved in certain religious groups and cults. They have a certain kind of personality where they're susceptible to follow these people in a good way. They don't see anything wrong with it. They don't see anything wrong with thinking Bryan Kohberger is innocent because they're kind of being fooled. It's like a joker. Honestly, and he just, you know, it's not easy what I do, and I wouldn't want you to see everything that I see because it's not nice. But I wish you could see, understand, and feel and experience the knowledge I have that says, no, he's guilty. It's him and him alone. Well, how did he get around to do all four of these kids, these students? He murdered in less than 15 minutes. I don't know. I have to be honest. I don't know. If I wasn't a psychic, I would probably have to say he didn't do it. Well, that's awful to say, isn't it? Because I know he did do it. But I was talking to someone, and we were just kind of talking about the case, and I said, I know a lot of people, fair amount, enough people say he wasn't the only one involved. There were other people. What does that look like? Because she has her own abilities and stuff too. And I said, what does that look like? Tell me what that looks like psychically. You know, what are you seeing? What makes you say that? And she voiced that it's potentially other people kind of helping Kohberger to set up the crime, giving information on when the kids would be available. What are they doing? When did they get home? What condition are they in? Are they inebriated? Are they on drugs or booze or whatever? That kind of involvement. So not necessarily an involvement where more than one person did the actual killings, but more of somebody or a couple people potentially in the background. And I took that information in because I know her and I trust her. I decided I'm going to stop and I'm just going to think about that. I'm going to think about and I'm going to allow spirit to come in and talk to me. I'm going to open up my mind, take off my blinders, because I do have hate and disgust towards Bryan Kohberger. I'm gonna open myself up to a potential new truth. And so I'm looking around, I'm looking at the other two roommates who were there, and they were awake, and one saw him and saw the eyebrows, and we know that story. Is it possible? Of course it's possible. There's a lot of things that are possible. But it's the truth that we're seeking. We want hard evidence. We want to see. I am just not seeing psychically. I am not seeing either of those other roommates involved. At least not knowing that any information they're giving out is going to assist Bryan Kohberger. So in other words, maybe they encountered Bryan Kohberger and he's like, we're so-and-so. And one of the roommates is like, well, she's up in her room. Something like that. I'm not saying that's what happened. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying that is the only potential interaction I see psychically between either of the two roommates and Bryan Kohberger. Now, I've always seen another young man, college student, very thin. I think he was kind of friends with Bryan Kohberger, not officially, but hey, they knew each other. They see each other at school, and knew of each other. And I'm looking at that kid, and he's a kid to me, young man. And not saying this person is liable in any way, but I do think this person knew and or was aware that Bryan Kohberger was kind of a loose cannon and something like this was going to happen. You know, he after the murders happened, this kid, this young man's thinking, oh my God, I wasn't sure if he really meant what he said. But he actually went through with it. You know, I do think this is a conversation that happened, but I don't think this other person, this young man, is responsible in any way. But I do believe Bryan did kind of open up to this young man by just saying, oh my God, you know, I hate this, I hate that. These people, you know, don't deserve to be here, whatever the conversation was, pointing out his dislike about certain students on campus. I hope that makes sense. You know, some of this stuff, you don't need to be a psychic to process and understand some of these things we've been told about the students' condition after they were gone, that there's clearly a lot of anger that was in play during the killings. You know, you can't, I don't even know how to say this. You know, a stabbing is one thing, but what happened there is different. And I know I did say this a while ago, but I'll just remind you. And Spirit showed me a knife in a square. So 4 sides, the knife was going in a square, almost some sort of ritualistic mark almost like a calling card. Okay, I'm getting chills. Do you remember that card we talked about a long time ago when Kaylee kept showing me this, and we figured with the help of you guys, it was her ID, her identification. But right now, when I just said calling card, and I'm getting chills. So in other words, what I'm saying is I think Spirit is saying, yeah, this square that potentially could have been cut inside somebody is a way to say that that was Kohberger's murder. You know, it was his victim. Because I don't think he thought he was going to get caught. And I do think he, after tasting blood that night, that morning, I think he would have done it again. And I think he would have done it in a very similar way. So we call that a serial killer, right? But I think that calling card mark, doing it in a very specific way, that is sick. But if Kohberger had assistance, let's say he had an informant, because that's basically what I'm kind of understanding, that some people believe he had an informant, someone that was kind of following the students, the kids, and giving him updates as to their location and stuff. Why wouldn't he, Kohberger, blow the cover and say who this other person or people were who helped him? Because I think that's the kind of person Kohberger is. He's not going to go down by himself if there's someone else involved. Are you kidding me? Think about it. Would you? I mean, if someone else is involved, I think most people would give up the name or names to avoid more severe penalties. We know that the death penalty's on the table. But again, I don't know if I even like that anymore, because I'm telling you, that's such an easy out. If we want the man to suffer, we keep him in prison. And now Kohberger attorneys filed a motion to allow him to wear his street clothes into the courtroom, not his orange jumpsuit that we all know him by. As much as I dislike this man, I understand what they're saying, because I understand what the defense is saying, because, yeah, we see someone in an orange jumpsuit or a white and black striped jumpsuit, we're like, oh, there's the criminal, right? We know that. But we know who he is. If he has on a three-piece suit or a suit jacket and a tie, we're all adults. We know what he's been accused of. But is that fair? Because what if some people look at him in a suit and say, oh, well, he's innocent till proven guilty. He's innocent. And you keep harping on the innocent. That could mess somebody up going the not guilty route. So I think if we do it for one, we do it for all. I don't think there needs to be any more exceptions, because why would there be an exception for Kohberger to wear his street clothes and not the other criminals going to court? I don't really care one way or another what these people wear in court, but if you do it for one, you need to be fair and do it for all. Did you see the private plane he got to fly in instead of taking a ride in a van or an SUV to the new county prison or jail where he's at? He got to ride in a private plane. Why? Maybe there's some threats on his life. I don't know. Not that a private plane would stop anything from happening that I know of, but I would imagine it's because of a safety issue. And, I'm hearing things I don't like. I'm hearing a lot of innocent till proven guilty. Okay, well, fine. Okay, I get that. But what about the accusations towards all the people in Moscow, Idaho? They've been accused of having prejudice. They've been accused of being mafioso kind of people, that they're going to take this guy out. Well, you don't have any proof of that. It's innocent till proven guilty. Why would you say that about the family and the friends? I don't understand why the innocent only goes towards Kohberger. But when the victims' families, who are obviously devastated for the rest of their lives, there's no closure, there's no justice, and murder. When they say something, it's a bunch of hate. Let me know what you think. Do you think he had help? And help me to understand. Help me. If he had help and you think he had help, just put it down in the comments. Who do you think it was that helped him? If you don't have a name or whatever, just say, yes, somebody else was involved. I just want to know what you guys see. I want to know what you're experiencing. Because I've always said, and I believe this, I will always believe this because it's true, and that is, these criminal cases don't just affect the victims and the immediate family and friends. This affects the whole entire universe. It just does. It's science. It's proven. It's a fact. You're affected. I'm affected. Everyone's affected by crimes. And it's awful. But let me know what you guys think. All right, well, thanks for watching. Please hit that subscribe button down below, like this video, and share the video with anyone who you feel might enjoy it as well. I hope you guys are doing well, and I'll be back soon for another video here on this channel. Don't forget my other channel, Audrey Christine, where I am showing my time in Vermont, my daughter's wedding. Also, check me out on Instagram for daily pictures there as well. All right, you guys take care. I'll see you soon. Bye.